was introduced, and then when they travel to Medina and they have their society starts getting there. So gradually changing. If you look at ayat tahrim al-khamr, the verses that made wine drinking haram, they came in four different stages over the course of several years. One, the first stage is تتخذون منه سكرا ورزقا حسنا. He was talking about grapes, he was talking about dates, and Allah said, you take out of those fruits sakaran, some intoxicants or some making wine of it, and also making good things of it. He's just giving a comment in there, referring that you're doing good things and bad things out of it. But he doesn't give a comment. Bad things. What do you mean? Like you want us to get away from them? No, he's just laying the foundation. And then maybe years, month or years later, it will come. يسألونك عن الخمر. It will be them who will ask. They will ask you, like, Ya Rasulullah, what do you think al-khamr, wine? Wal-maisir, gambling. Are the gambling? It was not there. He didn't, like, he is preaching for years. He didn't say stop gambling or stop drinking alcohol, because he is looking for a real change that will come from within, not a forced kind of change. I'm thinking. So it was them, as the Quran said, يَسْأَلُونَكَ. They will ask you, O Muhammad, عن الخمر والميسر, about الخمر, the wine, alcohol, والميسر, and gambling. قُلْ فِيهِمَا إِثْمٌ كَبِيرٌ وَمَنَافِعُ لِلنَّاسِ. That's stage 2. Tell them, there is إِثْمٌ كَبِير, there is a great sin in them, great bad in them, وَمَنَافِعُ, and some benefits for people. You sell, you buy, some business. But he didn't say you have to stay away from them. Until finally, he said, they were ready for the change. They were ready. The third level is, do not لا تقربوا الصلاة وأنتم سكارى. Do not pray while being in the state of being drunk. So just avoid that around the salah time, before salah, so you'll be focused in salah. And then the final stage, years later in Medina, it was يا أيها الذين آمنوا إنما الخمر والميسر, or you who believe, الخمر والميسر, drinking, alcohol, gambling, and all of these, رجس من عمل الشيطان. It's impurity from the action of shaitan. فاجتنبوه, avoid it. And in that, see, subhanallah, when that hadith, it came to the people in Salatul Asr. It came to the Prophet ﷺ, the ayah came to the Prophet ﷺ. Then he told Talha and Anas, few companions, about the ayah. They went out to Medina and told everybody. And Anas is describing, he said, Wallahi, it came before Salatul Asr, sometime before Asr. And then Anas went out and he made an announcement, even without the Prophet ﷺ telling him. He made an announcement that, as if they were waiting for it. Everybody was just waiting for it. And he said that Rasulullah received the ayah that it's haram. He said, we went out to Salat al-Asr and we were unable, we were kind of taking care of our clothes to be touched by the mud that was everywhere in Medina, because people got all the wine, and it was a lot in their houses, and they had to pour it in the streets, and it was all muddy. They're just waiting for it. Alas, it's been enough now that we have to get rid of all of that. So, yes. The idea of let's be gradual. In some cases, we have to stop cold turkey, as they say. Like Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, when I forbid you from something, you better stop it completely. وَإِذَا أَمَرْتُكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ, but when I order you to do something, فَأْتُوا مِنْهُ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُمْ, do as much as you can out of it. Maybe graduation can. Because stopping something is doing nothing. It's just negative. Is to stop, is to not do anything, which is possible. Everybody can do it, can stop. But doing something that's is negative, the first is negative, that's a positive action. Not everybody will be able to do the action fully. So he said, but when I give you an order, do as much as you can out of it. Do you have anything to share as far as doing things gradually? Another thing come to my mind. The human being, as a baby or as a child, has the longest period amongst all animals as far as getting to puberty, getting to full age. That's for a purpose. Keep changing and stay for the first several years with our moms. When it's, if you look at other animals, some herds, some animals, they are migrating and they just give birth. In a couple of hours, the cub or the calf is standing and ready to run. Doing otherwise, it would not survive. So, but a human being, no, changes get to be gradual and taking time. Yeah. So, and I will quote something in here as far as knowledge. I remember this beautiful quote from one of my scholars, teachers. He would always tell us, as you are studying knowledge, do not, think that it's going to be like an on and off thing. You come and you will get it in a year or two or a month or two. And he gave us a beautiful example. He said, the power of graduation, the power of gradual, phase is just like water. The drop of water. Drop of water has what power against the rock? And we said, no, it doesn't have, how can a drop of water break a rock? And it's impossible. It will shatter. It doesn't have even a shape. Water as a liquid doesn't have a shape. It will just take the shape of anything you put it in. How can this, how can this break the rock? And he said, easy, just give it time. A drop after a drop after a drop on the same rock for a month or two, maybe a year or two, it will make a hole in the rock. It will probably break the rock. So this is, building up process or gradual phase. You take this word today and add another word tomorrow. You learn this today and add that tomorrow. But do not stop. Be in constant building up process. Can get okay. بتقلب changing. Okay. That reminds me and takes me straight to another beautiful hadith, even though it's not famous of all, of the Prophet ﷺ, and it's kind of math or statistic kind of thing. He said, "Inna likulli amalin shirra." For each action, everybody, as far as the action, it will have a peak up. وَلِكُلِّ شِرَّةٍ فَتْرَةٍ. And then each peak or up should always come to the down bottom. You see, the curve is going up, and whatever is going up should go down. You will have up and down all the time. That's a human being. فَمَنْ كَانَتْ شِرَّتُهُ. And then he said, whoever his bottom, when the curve is going to the bottom, is still within the positive. This is the positive, 1, 2, 3, and this is 0, and then there is the minus, negative. He said, what you want, basically the hadith is saying, you don't want to go by minus. You want to make sure that yes, you can always go up, but it's not going to be constant. When you go down, make sure that the bottom does not go below 0. You have to be within the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. How to do that? Again, I remember our scholar said, well, you do salah, for example. If you do only the obligatory salah, Allah doesn't want you, Allah doesn't make it obligatory and you to do sunnah, which is extra prayer. He just wants you to do the Isha for rak'ah. But if the dangerous thing is if you just do the Isha, you're active now. Next day you will feel kind of, down. You're not gonna do it. So it's not covered. It's not covered with anything. You're gonna go below 0 now because Allah orders it. But if you do the Isha and then do the Sunnah before and after, then when you get lazy, what is it that you're gonna lose? The Sunnah. Okay, you know what? I can't do the 2 or more before and 2 or more after. Let me just do the Isha. So now, but then next day, inshallah, you're gonna come back again, pick it up from there again. Do not do only Ramadan. as far as fasting, even though nothing else is obligatory on you, but you want to add a buffer zone, if you like. You see? So I want to just take a jacket with me in case it's not cold or anything, but in case it would rain, it's never gonna hurt to have an extra jacket with you. You see? So just make sure that your faith is there. That's why we are ordered to stay away from any doubts or any things that will affect our faith, just for protection. So go the extra mile when you can, when you have power. So when the bottom, when you go, the curve goes down, you're not gonna go to the minus. Kind of protection. And again, even if you go by minus, it's not the end of the world. You have the healers. The tawbah is in there. The incentives. If you go do sayyat and then do the tawbah or change the course again, it's harder to go up again. But if you make that, Allah promised that He's gonna change whatever, like the unity you went under by minus, and you manage to make the difference and to make the change and go up, Allah will change it into positive thing, hasanat. Right. I would like to change to the other point you were making, uh, which will address this same point. Change in the world, or changing the world. Usually, we see ourselves and we see the world. Like there is us and there is the world. We don't usually look at ourselves, we look at the world. It's very easy that we can judge others because we watch them, we see them. We don't see ourselves, we see others, how they talk, how they. So every single person of us is an activist, a politician, critique as far as the movies, theater, whatever. So we can talk about all of these things and we say that's good and that's bad because we visualize and we see the world, right? And the total of all of that is makes our vision of life. Makes us total of that makes us either happy or not happy, the way you see. And we always say that they need to change. The system is corrupt. Whatever. We point at other things outside. And we usually refer to those things as affecting us. Like it's always my parents. My parents are controlling for you. I cannot do anything because because of her, because of my family. The you will not feel it's the easiest to get some kind of a hanger there to hang your own problems on. It's mainly because of that, or because of this, or because of the condition. I don't have money, I don't have a job. Anything that's outside. But the real change or the real happiness in my life, if you like, which is the positive change, is that you change yourself. You cannot change all of these people. You cannot change Panama City and control everybody there and make them all, let's say, respect you and treat you as you expect and deal with their city as they're supposed to and not do bad things, let alone the Florida or United States or the world. It's impossible. But what's really possible is to change the way you look at things. If you look at anybody who says a bad word, a bad word to you because of how you look, as a chance for you to gain hasanat, oh Allah, I was really ridiculed because I chose you, which is like puts you directly in the digit or in the level of prophets. That's what happened to them. They ridiculed Noah and Muhammad and all of them. So you will see it as a chance. You're not going to go ask for it or anything. That's not the way. But if it happens, you see a chance in there. And I was listening to somebody who was saying, change is going to be received by people into either one of two things, either as a chance or as a danger. So it's dangerous that I'm leaving my job right now. But it could be a chance that you will discover other places and life's preparing something else for you. Leaving your family, but it could be a chance that you are discovering another world. So, yes, you have anything as far as this point? And I'm thinking as you're speaking right now that this is a tool of prophets. They did change the world because of that. They practiced it first of all, and even their enemies, they look at them and they oppose them in public. But as they are speaking, we have a lot of situations and a lot of narrations that they were talking all, they knew he is good. You know? They trusted him, the Prophet ﷺ. His enemies, they trusted him with their valuables. They couldn't find anybody to trust but him. They know he's good. He's good, you know. But you know, it's not in our interest, so we have to, you know, oppose him in public like that. So yeah, they said happiness is in the eye of the beholder. It's always what you see and how you see. The same city is seen by some as being the worst. It could be seen by others as being heaven. Same world that we live in here, same thing. So it really depends on how you see. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, "Man qala halak an-nas fahuwa ahlakuhum." A hadith goes, who said, whoever person says, people are gone, it's the worst, you know, condition. He said, فَهُوَ أَهْلَكُهُمْ. He is the worst of all. That person is the worst of all. The tashkil of it as well, or the way it's been harakat in Arabic, فَهُوَ أَهْلَكَهُمْ, could be also understood as it is he who has misled them to that. He's saying, in other words, that the approach of you is really what matters. Really what matters. You see the world as being like it's gone, it's the worst. Then you are either part of that or you are the worst. A believer shouldn't do that. You could see always the opportunity, the chance in there to make the change. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if He wants, He said in the Quran, وَلَوْ شَاءَ رَبُّكَ لَآمَنَ مَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ كُلُّهُمْ جَمِيعًا. If your Lord, He's asking Prophet, He's talking to Prophet Muhammad, don't worry, you know, it's all like a test. Like Allah is it's all like a day of judgment. He will fold the sky and the earth and everything. كَطَيِّ السِّجِلِّ لِلْكُتُبِ. Like you fold a book. You get a book and just fold it. That's what He said in the Quran. It's all like I don't want to say a game or just something small, or just a test for all of us. So He's watching everybody now. He is saying to the Prophet ﷺ, because he was sometimes very worried and very isolated and very, that people, you know, I'm carrying goodness for them. I want them to be believers, to be good. And so much so that he was, you know, sad and almost killing himself of worry and stress, you know, uh, for people. He said, take it easy. If your Lord, had your Lord willed, like if He wants, if Allah wants, everybody on earth will be a believer. It just like He can change their hearts. But it's, you know, He wants to test us with one another, to see what kind of. And subhanAllah, many of these people that rejected Him and fought against Him in the beginning, the leaders of the armies against him, Abu Sufyan, they become the best of companions later on. Allah changes that. إِنَّكَ لَا تَهْدِي مَنْ أَحْبَبْتَ. You do not guide whom you like. وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يَهْدِي مَن يَشَاءُ. But Allah guides whoever He wants. What can we do? We do not have control over the end, over the results. It's always in the hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can do things like million other people would do, and all of them will get the million automatic results or logic results, but you wouldn't get it because Allah didn't decide for this to happen to you, or vice versa. So this is something that we shouldn't be worried about. What should we worry ourselves or concern ourselves with is the action. This you have control over. You can do the actions that makes you a good person, that leads you to Jannah. And don't worry about Jannah because Allah promised, do that and I take you there. Losers will say, you know what? Allah knew what we are going to do and He knew what's our destiny. And that's why we're not going to do anything. But do you know? Do you know what He knows that? Yes. Because if He doesn't know that, or had He not know that, He wouldn't be God. He is God because He knows it doesn't make a difference for Him. Knowledge is not acquired for Him. It's not like us. You go to school, study, and get. No, He knows everything. No beginning, no end. Time is not a boundary for Him. For us, future is a boundary. We cannot know what's going to come in half an hour. We can predict it, but we don't know for sure what's going to happen. He is, because He is God, that's not a question for Him. He knows. But the question, do I know? I can convince myself or fool myself that I'm destined to the hellfire, khalas, I'm not going to work. Or I could be, probability, could be destined to be there. Why do I do good? No. I trust Him as God, and as the universe He created, very sophisticated, very proportioned, and He promised, do that and that will lead you there. Do that, and we do it also, logically we do it in our life. Like we believe in Him, we believe in rizq and everything, but we go to work and we go study. We don't say that our rizq, our provision, our money is going to come to me. I know it's predestined for me, but we go ahead and work. So, change. Yes, all we have control over is the action. We can change our condition through the action. But then the result, how much that will yield, it's in the hand of Allah, and we really don't have to worry about it. We just have to work. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. And that doesn't make them any less. That's right. That's right. Prophet like Sayyidina Nuh alayhi salam, Allah said in the Quran, وَمَا آمَنَ مَعَهُ إِلَّا قَلِيلٌ. Prophet Noah, those who believed with him were but a little, just a few number of people. And his time, his mission, continued for 950 years. That's not his age, just his mission from the time he became a prophet until the end of his life. 950 years, which is a millennium, almost a millennium. I mean, that's a lot. But then, yet, a few people just accepted Islam with him. But he is one of the mightiest, 5 mightiest prophets. Ulil Azm min al-Rusul. It doesn't really make a sense. It's not by, this is how we tend to judge things, by numbers. If it's for us, probably, let's assume we don't know those 5 main prophets. Ibrahim, Nuh alayhi salam, and Ibrahim, and Moses, and Jesus, and Sayyidina Muhammad. Let's assume that we didn't know that, or study that, or we came to know about them. Or even we don't know the prophets, or we get someone else and tell him, you know what, we are Muslims and we believe in a lot of prophets. And we give him the facts. Can you give us, the 5 most important prophets? Somebody will probably go by the numbers of believers. You know, that prophet, he had that number of believers, he should be number one, that one should be number two. But no, this is not how it goes with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How much effort he did there, he put in there. Then, and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you know, he passed away while Islam was not outside Arabia. It was not even in all Arabia yet. So you're talking about just a small fraction of the world. Yet Allah gave him the mission. Allah told him, you are a prophet for al-alameen, for the world. But then he gave him at the end of his life, shortly before his death, that اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم. Today I have completed your deen, perfected my blessing on you, which means like it's full. But what do you mean? I mean, shouldn't it get to everybody, to the world? No, that's not the point. The point is, deen is complete. I have built the generation that will take it. I shouldn't. It's not necessary that I live until the religion will reach everywhere and everybody will become a Muslim. No. So this is a very fine point in here that we have to consider. Consequences always in the hand of Allah, and that's what majority of people, I believe. I don't have any numbers, but I believe many of people who have stress and depression and what have you is mainly because of that. They are worried about the consequence. What's going to happen to me in the future? How I'm going to do that? No, now I lost my job. What's going to... You don't have to worry about that. All you have to do is just go and look for another job. You don't have to worry about anything else. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like the Prophet told us, لو أنكم تتوكلون على الله. If only you trust Allah or make tawakkul ala Allah like birds do, He will provide for you like He provides for birds. What do birds do? They تغدو خماصا. They go beginning of the day with empty stomach. وتعود بطانا. They come at the end of the day with full stomach. What is the difference? They do actions. They do the action. Full trust in Allah. They do the actions. You don't see them competing or anything. Yeah, they compete by instinct, but they don't save. They don't use credit cards. They just go and do the action. So we have to do the I lost my job. It's not saying that that's not to say you shouldn't be sad if any condition. Yeah, you be sad, but within a limit. You know, you're not gonna panic and let that dominate you. You know that, alhamdulillah, let's move on. Maybe try to find a job. And that is the change, the positive change that we need to move to, inshallah. Yes. Hmm. Millions. And Sayyidina Ibrahim questioned, not questioned, but he said, oh Allah, you want me to make a call? Allah told him in the middle of the desert after he built the Kaaba, the house of Allah in Mecca, go ahead and make a call on people to come and visit my house. And he had nobody is in the desert. And he said, how far can my voice reach? He said, don't worry about that. You just make the call and we make it reach everywhere. Allah said, we're going to make it reach to everybody. Yes, يأتينا من كل فج عميق, that he told him that people are going to come from all far distant, walking and on camels and riding other. So yes, we do the actions and then the consequences. This action, any little action, we speak physics in here, Brother Abdul Rauf should be here. Any little action, the least of action in the world, it affects the entire world. Right? Is that one of the rules of physics or something? If you do anything here, it somehow, some level affects the world. And you can talk to him about this and let him give us more explanation. I remember this from high school. I'm trying to put it in perspective, but I remember that. Even I remember the teacher when he was explaining to us, he said, now we can understand how on the day of judgment Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to bring us everything. He said, he was talking about energy. He said, because energy, when we talk, it's an energy, you know, it becomes there in the air, The world is never as it was, or the room is never as it was before we speak. Something happened, whether we are, there are waves we cannot see, and those waves will go travel. That's why you're hearing me now. The waves are traveling, and then they get to your ear, and something happens. So something is happening, and this is not going to come to an end. It's not going to vanish. It's not going to turn. It's going to turn to something else. So the least of anything that we could do, good or bad, it's going to leave an impact in there. So it matters, whatever we say, or even for a kalima, for the word that we say, it matters. Very positive and good discussion, alhamdulillah, at least for me. And well, inshallah, we continue like that. And please spread the word and invite more sisters.